Are you marking for Surpass later? 10 o'clock?
Uh, Nobody's asked me to, so no.
Okay. I'm just curious who they get. I know they usually get Ordo kill squads.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. We've been trying to not mark for them because it
Hmm.
just makes the wars not balanced.
Right.
But we still have some people who will do whatever they want. Can't
Yeah,
control everybody.
I don't blame anybody for marking. Sometimes
Yeah.
it does suck though.
All right. So this is a group. I think we're group 9 or maybe 8. I think no. This is a group 9. This is a group 9 VOD. Um, against Horizon. So Boogaloo versus Horizon. We got our 2 disruptors, IC and me. And then we got a fire staff and a bow. So the wait a second, let me look back at your message. Some of the things you wanted me to talk about: macro,
Hmm.
positioning, target prio, translating leads. Things about okay, yeah.
You don't have to touch on wide fight too much. It's kind of niche, and I think our wide fight knows what they're doing for the most part. But weak side and inner lanes, macro wise, kind of struggle.
Oh, that's slow. Let's get an oppo quick. So first thing you would, so we were doing like kind of an unusual split. I think we did some goofy strat where we sent like a bunch of people to the side point, like half the army to side point, and then we sent like some people to the other side, and then they kind of split off the B or something goofy like that. I don't remember, but obviously your first goal is to just get in a position, get an oppo as quick as you can in any situation, whether you're attack or defense. Um, and then whenever you do get over there trying to figure out who your targets are and who everybody is, if you don't know them already, right? If it's a company you war against a bunch, it's going to be a little bit easier. But as a disruptor, well, I mean, no matter what role, DPS or disruptor, but especially as a disruptor, you're looking for the healer or you're looking for the DPS. Whether it's a bow, a fire staff, or a healer, you don't want to be hitting the disruptors as a disruptor. Like you just don't. So making sure that like that still hasn't changed. Don't go in and start hitting those guys unless you're peeling for one of your light players, especially your healer. And then even then, you're only doing it if they have like 2 disruptors on them or a disruptor and a bow. So like the rule of thumb I use is if I like, I'll just use my healer as an example. If my healer has like a disruptor and a bow hitting him, I'll hit the bow or the fire staff, whichever one. I'll take their damage away so they can't nuke my healer. Because a healer should be able to survive fine with just 1 disruptor on them. If it's 2 disruptors and a DPS hitting my healer, I'll jump on the disruptors and I'll CC them using whatever I've got to lock them down so that my healer can get away. And then I'll just hold right click and block for my healer so that they can't hit him with anything. If it starts getting worse than that, um, then you just need to have your whole team kind of like peel back.
And are you having everybody run tower shield right now, or are you still doing
Yes.
one and one? Everyone on
Uh,
tower.
I mean, there may be like some people out there that are running like round shields still, but I think just generally speaking, tower shields are the way to go for heavy disruptors. It just gives you too much survivability.
Hmm.
So another thing I want to point out, like we're technically too far out as a so we're group 9, right? So the group 8 or group 10 wide fights going on out here. We're a little far out. They kind of pulled us out here a little bit. We kind of just gave chase. So you generally speaking don't want to play this wide, and part of the reason you don't want to do that is because you don't want to get caught up with the wide fight and cause them problems or them cause you problems, because then the 2 fights kind of bleed into each other. There is some meta shifts potentially happening, and I'm trying to force in Boogaflu along with some other people to like kill the wide fight, which would be basically this. But instead of playing this far out, you just play in and force them to come to you. But generally speaking, you don't want to like be playing this far out as the wide fight. But notice like I'm the whatchamacallit, I'm the holder, so I'm just hitting the bow the whole time. staggered, a staggered.
Need a heal. Oh,
Junior, half.
shit.
Oh, alright.
We're kind of split. Just be careful a little bit.
Our healer
You can
died.
finish Union.
Our healer was having a rough time this war,
Be careful.
unfortunately, so our healer died there.
Rampart.
And I want to point out that, like,
Still on him though.
I don't. I'm gonna kind of like VOD reviewing myself here too. I'm pushing up to the ramparts. It's like, notice one thing that I didn't hear that whole time, that my healer was in trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Healer's super important, that they need to be talking, because the Icy, the other disruptor, and myself, we're just aggro. We're not paying attention to his health bar as much as we should be. And he did die kind of quickly, which is probably a result of us being close to the wide fight, unfortunately. But still, like, it doesn't change the fact that he needs to be screaming for peels whenever he's getting in trouble. So if your healer's not saying anything, like, always have that like pre-war like pep talk with them. Be like, if you need peels, yell at me. Tell me to come peel for you. It's super important. They can't keep quiet.
Yeah, we're
Keep it to
ramparts.
themselves. Spray it out. Spray.
Our
You
healer
can
died.
finish Union. We're post out, nothing left. Be careful.
I don't know if you can hear it, but like you hear Icy calming that he's got no repose. We're calling cooldowns. We're calling sacred grounds. Make sure you're calming all that stuff. But then once we like are kind of in, because we're still in oppo. It's not like we've like full lost. Yeah, we don't have a healer, so we have to play a little bit careful. But if we're not like getting picks and kills there, like we should be continuing to focus the fight. But if we do get the picks, then this is what you want to turn in and look at, especially as like group 9 help group 8. Group 8 can help group 9 a little bit if they're close by. But I start to look in, and I'm looking at the inner. So what I always tell everybody, like the new thing that I've been telling everybody is look in, look in, look in. Everybody look in. Bows look in specifically. Fire staffs look in. Because now it's less about pressuring healers and it's more about adding damage to the quads and just killing quad players through the heals. Because you throw that extra damage on there, the healers just can't keep up with it. We're finding a lot of success with that, at least on our server. I'm not saying that's going to translate to your wars necessarily, because I know everything's not always the same. Some people do things a little bit differently depending on your server's meta. And whatever, but this is what we've been doing and finding success with. But I'm looking in a little bit. I'm gonna get behind these guys.
So when you're
Not
looking in
expect
towards
that.
the inner
zone,
fights, are you
spray,
looking
these
straight at
Walls are up
healers,
now.
or are you just going for the low health targets that are coming off point, like bruisers?
Low health targets that are coming off point.
Okay.
I can go on Union whenever you're back.
Bruisers are a really good target. VGIGs.
I'm on Union. She's in mid road.
No, don't say that.
Spray machine, no stone form on top
Don't
right.
teach them
By,
good habits.
Did I
he's in
stay
Oppo.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we supposed to stay B or no?
I got spray machine in wide. Lockdown.
Here.
Unfortunately, there's nothing my group can do off of it. I also want to point out that my fire staff shouldn't have kited over here. He was in a pretty free spot. I say free, like machine and wide. If you're a DPS in these kill squad fights, so Melpsy, who's a little Beepo, great fire staff, instead of kiting to where he did, he should have gone towards this bot left over here, where like you see Vakapitch, Nimblecoat, Tank the Vicious, like all these guys in bot left. That's where he should have kited to. I'm not saying he would have lived necessarily, but that would be way safer than rolling over here. I'm trying to help you out. I don't really have anything because then he dies. Right, but if he goes over here to where all these healers and other players are, he can kind of disappear into bonfire. Like it's okay, especially if your healer's not around, because our healers just respawned, so he's just coming off a flag. It's okay to just kite super far away until you can play life. That is one thing that a lot of like light DPS are not doing super well right now. Is they're not just hard prioing playing life when they're getting pressured, and they're not like they're too concerned with kind of staying where they're at or trying to still play aggressive. It's fine. Just turn and run and burn. Like pretend like it's an OPR and you got some weirdo chasing you from one end of the map to the other. People are like insanely good at playing life in OPR for some reason. Same thing here, right? You're just fighting against more coordinated people, but just play life and go far away if you have to. It's fine. But if your healer's there, run towards your healer, obviously. But okay, I'm just gonna play bot right now. Now we're officially like lost the fight, right? So this is where a good macro sense comes in. Of like, Icy and I are here. Zeb is somewhere. I think he is coming off respawn as well or something, or he went to like buy consumes or something. I don't remember. But anyway, so this is just as important if you lose to keep this in mind is calm to your other group. So we got the inner lane kill squad here. Clay, Tanko, Vakapitch, Nimble, Anna's Grace. That's our inner lane, group 8. We need to, I don't remember if we do or not, comm to the other kill squads. Super important that the kill squads talk to each other and that you make comms to the shot caller too. You have a lot of information to provide and it can like help keep them from getting wiped and help you work together. Calm to them like, yo, Group 9 lost. You know, we lost the fight. Group 9 healer down. Anything like that, so they know that there's the possibility of them getting collapsed on. Because now they got Gifsy, Molly Lean, they got whatever his freaking name is over here, Spray Machine, Zombones, like all these bows sitting here that are going to start looking in at them. And so what I'm doing, since I don't have a healer here, is I just play purely defensive and I try and not give up all this space, like to where they can push into our road. Now I just think of myself as a space holder and playing life. So I go up here, I right click, I weaken, I'm trying to peel for people as best as I can. Obviously I can only do so much. As one person, and I'm trying not to give up too much space, but I'm also trying not to like die. Get Zombones in our road.
Dorsey, are you here?
I'm at the.
Okay, okay. Just be careful. I'm with Zomban.
He's dead, he's dead.
They're kind of trying to crash it.
Notice they didn't get control of our road. Granted, they probably could have if they were like paying attention, but
Here's the Union group.
they were probably looking at. This is Dashwood, who's still in Oppo. Yeah, see Union. Farley Krantz. Calling out fire staffs, they pushing up again. They gave up space, which was really bad on their part. Don't do this. They just gave up Oppo for free. Great target. He dodged. I'm hitting Spray Machine and Oppo right now.
We almost have
Spray Machine's in bot right, and Junior is also in bot right. And so this is their wide fight, ego diff, skirmish boy, Junior. This is their wide.
top left is one.
Hey, we're not up there, Icy. We can't be up there right now. I'm calling my other disruptor back. He was like making comms and stuff. Really good to pay attention to each other and call each other back if you need to. We're still kind of just playing life. We just capped B, so most of our army's on B. See, there's a lot of red over here. This is something else really important to pay attention to from a macro perspective. Pay attention to what's going on with point tick and what's going on with the rest of the army, and recognize, because I didn't pay attention to it, and you're about to see what the problem with that was.
No,
Look at these guys. Look at their entire army come over and collapse on top of us. They're collapsing on us. Their whole army's on us. This is what happens when you don't pay attention to what's going on around you. Fortunately, we both caught respawn, so it wasn't like the end of the world.
I'm walking it up.
Now the whole army's here. Things even out a lot. This is when we like start to take the point and win. Yeah, see, sides get in. See Molly and Zombones. We're pushing up.
I'm top left. I'm deep.
I want to point out, and something I see a lot of disruptors don't do.
They got two behind.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm spray,
I see Molly is and ignore the single disruptor in front of them. So almost every disruptor pod I watched lately, they would have just walked up to this Molly Lean person and just started DPSing them. Don't give a crap about one disruptor sitting here in the middle of three of my teammates. Literally doesn't mean anything to me. I care about pushing up and taking space. Yeah, I'm pushing up. I see you and you're up there. Jumping on Spray Machine.
Yeah.
Vines on Spray. I don't know how he's out of it, but yeah, I'm still hitting Spray. Spray's kind of stuck in here. Junior, top right. Pull Junior. Junior full red.
Got me again.
Junior sweet. Unfortunately, we don't get the kill. They start wrapping. Yeah, over here. We have a rough time in Oppo outside for a while. Right and play a little wheat. Like where? And if you're wondering why we're retreating, our healer died. So I don't know what is going on. But I feel like we're down people. Notice I fall back into position. I try to like hold space a little bit here. I'm not playing overextended, so I don't die for no reason. So that way when Dracy, I don't get staggered. Super important if respawns just hit. Don't get staggered from your healer or the rest of your group. They're going to try to do that on purpose. Respawns hit, pay attention to that. Someone in your group should be calling out respawn timers when they're dead. Also, just, you know, if you have a respawn caller for the army, make sure you're paying attention to their calls, so you don't get staggered from your group, so you can actually make a push. Because if I'd stayed overextended and died there, and then Dracy comes back to life, and then I die, well, now the group's without a disruptor for another, minute, which is really, really bad.
He's gonna get healed here soon if we don't break Sam. Okay, yeah, let's pull off.
I'm gonna hit the bow. Hit Spray Machine.
Just come zone. Zone bone's no healer. Zone bone's no healer. Out wider, guys.
Yeah, I'm coming over to you guys.
Yeah. Oh, that was a bad hit. Bad sweep.
Oh,
I'm coming. Obviously, don't sweep off a pull. Sometimes your brain turns off.
He's running hatchet. Yeah, he was just so
far. Gummy and bot right.
Going back on Junior now.
Just Gummy and bot right. Gummy on ping up. Nah, he's healed. So I also want to point out that like ideally and hopefully our bow and like your light DPS are to your left here. So see nobody is to the left here at all. You want your light DPS to be playing wide to your side, like away, like between, like basically you. If you're a light DPS player, your disruptors are between you and the point at all times. So if you're on defense, you're to the right of your disruptors. If you're on attack, you're to the left of your disruptors. You know, if you're an oppo, um, that's like a better spot because you're gonna have a better angle. You're gonna have better line of sight. Your healer is hopefully gonna be able to play up a little bit there too. But if you're like hiding way back behind the disruptor, like down here
You're
bot
not
right,
able to
for
get
example,
guys.
like
Source,
okay,
you
so
over
you
here?
so like, you see Zeb is up here playing super aggressive.
Junior's
Yeah.
stone farm down.
Not where
I
is
don't
that?
remember if Zeb
I'm,
dies here or
top
not.
left.
Zeb's kind of overextended here. That was a little too far. Zeb's playing aggro, which is great. Zeb's a great bow, but I don't think he should have been up there in the first place. That's a good example of being a little too out of position because our healer is down in bot left and he's way up here, so he can't get any help.
I also just
But if
noticed
he'd have
that
been, oh, go ahead.
I noticed that your calls, instead of relative to the point, you're calling like top right, bottom left, relative to your lane, which is probably super helpful. I never thought of that.
Yeah, and I'm pinging a lot, so the pings help quite significantly. I'm coming back a little bit.
I mean, we have good space. I'm getting farmed, but
Just got good. Junior
Yeah.
can't heal. Junior can't heal.
I'm just trying to keep these guys pressed. Careful, Dracy. Careful, Dracy. You need to get out. Get out. Sweep on these guys. Trying to now we're just playing super super defensive. I fall back to keep peel for my healer. I really want to point out something for Lil Beepo here. I want to see if anybody can point out the mistake that he made.
I mean, we have good space. I'm getting farmed, but
Anybody
Stand
see
back.
what he? What?
Did he stand himself out there?
No, he didn't.
Oh.
No,
He ran in
left
a pretty much
him.
straight line,
Straight
and he
line,
was way overextended as a fire staff from like where his healer can't heal him at all. We're as a group a little overextended, admittedly. Like I shouldn't necessarily be quite this far, but when you're playing as a light player, you have to, and as a healer, as a bow, as a fire staff, you need to make your movement, or as any role really, but especially those, like you need to make your movement super sporadic because when you run in a straight line like that, all you're doing is making yourself a super easy target for bows and fire staffs to nuke the crap out of you. You literally need to like be zigzagging, like dodge one direction, jump another direction. Like I'm not joking. Like that will save you so much, so many deaths in like wars and stuff. Again, kind of think of it like an OPR, and you're trying to dodge some weirdo who's shooting you from top of the fort or something like that, or chasing you halfway across the map. You're thinking of it that way. I'm doing everything I can to make sure I don't get hit and that I live right now.
Junior can't heal. Junior can't heal.
And I'm still hitting the bow, right? Like I noticed I've hardly hit disruptors at all this whole time.
Careful, Dracy.
Because they're not the ones doing like the damage.
Trying to heal for you.
They're doing some,
top
but
left, you're
nothing compared to these bows and fire staffs that hit you for like 5k.
Control. They have so much careful up there. I see you're all alone. You're all alone.
I love to see, and it's very enlightening that I can see that you're not a player that's like greedy and goes after unnecessary kills. You just kind of stay moving and more worry about zones than you do players.
Right here next to us.
It is very important.
Spray machine on bot left right now. Okay, I'm back on Junior now.
I gave up worrying about kills a long time ago. Like, gone are the days of getting like 20 plus kills in wars. So I'm just more about making sure that my team can play the space that they need to, and we can exist where we need to, and then just provide value when it matters.
I'm tripping. Miss.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sweep on Junior, middle of the road. Alright. Not living, not dying. Look back in Oppo. Also important to recognize when you're just not gonna get a kill, right? Like we could have kept hitting that healer, but we're so overextended right there, and he's already burned a lot of cooldowns. Now he's in the middle of the road. There's probably other healers around him. Respawns could be coming in, so we just like, all right, let's just get back and try and provide value somewhere else. Points at 50, like 5% tick. So I'm trying to just maintain the space up here as best as I can. And exist up here so that their Oppo can't free cast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull him.
Yeah, dies here.
Top left now, Zeb.
Damn.
Vines. Junior can still die.
Finish,
Alright, there we go.
finish.
Good. Look to the left. Look at spray machine. Spray machine on the left.
Yeah, no healer.
Franz is up on ramparts as well. Starting on you, George.
Careful, Tracy.
Help George,
I'm
help
blocking, I'm
George.
blocking, I'm blocking. That's the strength of that defensive formation and right clicking and good peels
Molly off you.
for your healer.
First.
Molly's stunned out, bot right. Look at
So strong.
Molly, bot left. What was that?
I said it's so strong.
It's ridiculous.
Alright, alright.
Turn my focus, turn my focus.
Let's
The real
look in,
strength
look in.
comes
Look
whenever
at
you start
Farley,
stepping
Farley
point.
crates.
I need Zev. Yeah.
I'm gonna come up to you, Keebs, give me a second.
Yeah, I'm just sitting in bot top right now. I'm just blocking,
Look at Molly. Bottom left.
Also this.
Dead.
This is the best way to play life. You see like a lot of disruptors right there
I'm gonna come up to you,
would be just dodging and dodging, and then they'd stay out and then they'd get nuked. I promise you, as disruptors, dodging is bait. Dodging is bait. Dodging is bait. Don't do it unless you absolutely have to. But very rare is that the case. Blocking is always a better option. I'm just blocking.
Look at Molly.
Sometimes you're just gonna do it because it's like habit, right? Like we've all been dodging for so long. This block meta is still pretty new. Jumping up to these fire staffs in top left.
I'm healing Icy.
Look at Gibbs.
Points starting to tick up. It's getting close to that set, like 70-75% points. So now we're just trying to take space, trying to push up, trying to continue to play aggressive, keep that oppo control so our quads. Because the real reason we're trying to maintain oppo control is so that our top left and bottom left quad players can play more freely on the point without having to worry about getting collapsed on by the enemy inner and mid lane kill squads. Because that's the ultimate goal. Take the space and then pressure the quads. They're trying to do the same thing. So the more you can exist in this space, the less that they can do that. We got a lot of point presence right now. We got a lot of point presence. Look at Capri and Aquabon.
Yep. Stunning on Capri in a second. Stunning now.
Stagger.
Zev.
She's on top right ramparts.
Hey, start looking in. Start looking in. We need to out chase. Hey, 0.75%. I start telling everybody to look in. Healers forever.
Yep, she's dead. She's dead.
Healing Melcy.
Hit some people on top. Hit people top left. Top
This is
left.
gonna
Top
need
left.
one.
Noticing these crashes and all these people, this is what makes the difference between flipping a point and not flipping a point. Is the kill squads recognizing when point can be flipped and then stepping in and providing value. So what I typically tell disruptors, especially, I'll tell my light DPS to focus the point and look in, and I'll usually give them a quad to focus, like, hey, let's all look top left, let's all look top right, wherever, right? Typically whatever's closest to us. And then as a disruptor, the best opener you can have onto point is shield rush into right clicking. Hold right click until your block breaks, and then pull your spear out. And cyclone, if you have cyclone to get your stamina back. If not, then you can like sweep into a perforate, whatever, to get stand back and put out some debuffs, and then go right back into right clicking and shield rush when you shield rush comes back up. The main reason I say that combo specifically, the shield rush and the right click, is shield rush is a 20% weaken for 10 seconds in a 5-meter radius, and so that's reduces their damage by 20% right off the bat within that radius. And then you go to right click, that's a 30% damage reduction to all your teammates within that radius. So you're effectively reducing their damage in that radius by 50% for that entire duration, which is massive for helping your quad players live on the point. I'm just sitting top left. I'm sitting top left. I jump on point, I just tiptoe the edge of point, tell my healer that's where I'm playing. Step on, step on, step on, step on.
Hey Dusty, can you
Yeah.
post your current weapon mastery in our disruptor chat when you get a chance?
I can do that.
Thanks, man.
Look at Molly.
Alright, clean up, clean up. Alright, so now we won the point. So if we're like, what I'll typically do here is I'll tell my ranged DPS to just waterfall the horns. So they'll just follow the army and they'll kill the horns from one side of whatever side of the fort we start out at, and they clear the horns all the way to the other side. That's their job. Kill horns. Nothing else. Not getting picks. Not anything else. Just waterfall the horns, take them out. I try to pull some people off the fort from running Scorpion.
They're pushing out really hard.
And call it out. My group is the right gate, so I just come over here.
If you get one.
Now, disruptors on attack and defense is a very awkward phase of the war. Scorpions can look to pull people off the wall. For disruptors, the best value you can have until it's time for the fort breach is either doing this, but if you're not running Scorpion or you don't have pull up, is just hold right click right on the back end of your like your gate anchors to give them that fortify during the breach phase. It really helps them survive a lot of damage so that they can actually breach the fort. Spray machine.
Nice pull.
I'm just gonna get to the fort phase because we don't kill these guys like at all. They just kite forever.
Now, running Scorpion as the holder, is that preference, or do you guys have some tech behind that too?
Nah, it was just what I was running.
Okay.
I prefer. Well, I was running it because the other disruptor in my group is a greatsword, and I think it's really strong to have at least one Scorpion in the group, because Scorpion, like, even if you're not landing it all the time, like my accuracy wasn't super great this war. It's been kind of meh lately. Is even when you get a pull, it can be really high value. I personally prefer a DPS spear, but Scorpion is still really, really strong. You just have to, like, be patient with it and land good hits.
Time, low-key. They had so many people
I
die
don't
just
remember if
now.
it was this war or not, but I do end up swapping to a DPS spear at some point.
There's a light bow out here.
So what would you run as a sword if you were doing a DPS spear?
Same.
I'd still just run the same sword I always run: attunement, plagued crits, and pen backstab.
Gotcha.
Just get ready to go in if we need to.
Yeah, I'm on inner horde.
Just kind of hanging out here. Gonna look for another pool. For now, we're just being patient.
Alright, there's a push. We can get in.
That was a really bad throw. I don't know what I was doing. IC calls for a push. Says we can get in, which is great. So we start to play off that.
Go to the left.
I'll say this fort phase was kind of rough for a bit until we ended up making some changes on what we were doing.
I got it.
I'm with you here at Outmark still.
Yeah, all right, we can go. Because we ended up doing a lot of like stalemating up top and not really like getting. So our job obviously, as most kill squads, like 9 and 10 groups are, to get top control, which we were doing okay at. Well, I would say not really doing okay at. We weren't really getting control. We were just kind of going up there and existing, but we weren't really like doing anything. I notice what they're doing. They got their 2 disruptors standing on the gate on the stairs, just holding blocks so that we can't even get up there.
Well, there's a lot
I'm
of
kinda stuck.
It's actually pretty decent tech.
Comes out.
I'm just playing defensive until my group gets up here. Now here is where this is what I tell all my kill squad players. I prefer to see the bows and healer play above the gate, around where like Dracy and Icy are right now, because this is a significantly safer place to play. Almost nobody goes above the back gates anymore, and even if they do, like, it's really easy to see, and that's still one like choke path to come through. This puts them in a much safer defensive position where they can jump off really easily if they need to. They can still shoot people that are above B and these stairs, down at the shop, down in dirt, and it just basically gives the enemy one path to get to them, while the disruptors play this like kind of middle area and pressure there. So the bows can play along the wall, the healer can play along the wall, and it's going to be significantly safer for them than it is to be in these other positions.
So you guys don't go to back gates.
What?
You don't go to back gates.
Not these 2 groups. Our group 7 and group 8, which is our weak side and our inner lane kill squads, go to back gates.
Gotcha.
Group 9 and 10, which are our wide and mid lane kill squads, go above the front gates. And then
Yeah.
our other 2 kill squads go in the back gates.
Over here.
When you enter, do you find value with taking out the shops in the siege?
Sometimes it depends on what, like,
How
we
early
fort
it is.
super early. Yeah. Then,
Yeah.
there's value in that. I'll be honest. Sometimes I just forget about it. I think I go after a shop in this war like one time. Realistically, your bows should be doing it. I'm just pressuring the bows over
Okay.
here. They got a fire staff
we
up
lost
here
our
too.
healer.
Yeah, notice I'm sorry, healer's dead. Unfortunately, it sucks, but I'm still like holding the space, keeping back these guys from being able to like push over there. The rest of my team's playing behind me, but we had some people push past us, so there's not a whole lot we can do. It's okay to just jump and play your life rather than dying. If you have to jump to live and then go back in, that's not a problem. Like, it's not the end of the world if you like don't have the space up there nonstop the whole time. We're going in, especially because you can just do this. Look for value in the dirt down here. Look for value in the dirt down here.
Okay.
So, and this is just me personally, and I've been trying to like get this idea, like slip this idea in people's heads. I personally don't think front wall control is as important as it used to be anymore. I think going down in the dirt and pressuring quad players and healers and DPS that are in the dirt is more valuable, because you then force their people who are sitting on the wall to move and play somewhere else. The downside, obviously, is they might have bows, fire staffs, and healers free casting up there. But if your group's not up there just fighting that goofy fight, and there are other places getting value, then they're also somewhere getting value, ideally. Which you'll see we make that call later. Hey, look at these guys getting. I want to point out like the value we get in here. Icy and I go in and just start pressuring people in dirt. Soaring Otter, There's 2 kills,
I'm by the front.
3 kills. My fire staff's right next to me.
Look at top right. Look at top right. Look at top right. Yeah.
4 kills.
The Fachi in hell.
Yeah.
Right there.
Dead.
So immediately go in, pick 4 people off. One of them was a healer,
Gonna jump
and
on
then we
top
just
right,
start
jump
pressuring
point.
points. Unfortunately, we
Big
don't
point
win here because we have like 15
Right, a
people
point.
who wouldn't step point for some reason.
I'm going E.
But I just want to like point out like the value that we got by not even going up on the walls, and we just pushed in and just pressured around dirt.
I think we just stepped in.
It was really
Yeah.
huge. In this meta, getting
We're hitting people.
2 or
we're hitting
3 or
people top
4
right, hitting people
kills
top right.
Yeah, they
makes a
came-
huge difference, especially if
They're
because
crashing,
3 of
they're
those
crashing,
people
they're
were main ball
Careful.
players.
Flapping icy.
Get ready
It was
to
just
help
unlucky
top
on the
right.
respawns because they just
Yeah.
came right in.
Top right.
I'm calling my group into top
Blowing
right,
the crap up. I'm stepping off for a second.
playing life.
Thank you.
Notice I'm popping all of my consumes, calling out my cleanse pot to my healer when it matters, so they know that I'm like
I'm still
easy
in
to
front.
heal.
Stickers at the
Calling
front,
for a
right?
spread,
They
calling
can't
for a
go
spread.
Oh, there's so many by choke. Playing life for a sec.
We didn't
I'm
really
literally
know
just
we
doing
were
everything I
respawn,
can to be
we're
as
respawn,
disruptive and put as many
Just
buffs
keep
and
pressuring,
debuffs as I
keep
can
pressuring.
out.
Look at it, probably a clown
Top
and
right.
right side, and some of these guys top right.
Flapping from
I'm on-
spawn res
I'm
white.
still playing it.
95% or 90%.
Looking for low HP targets. Average
Right-
con
right
and
side,
dirt.
right side,
Average
right
con
side.
and dirt.
I'm staying on top right.
Top right.
Crash.
Top right.
Stickers on top right.
Minute.
We effectively just become a quad
Also,
DPS.
average con
I'm not a
on
big
right
fan
side.
of the Scorpion
hit right.
Spear, especially in Fort for this reason specifically. It's just not super great. It doesn't do any damage. Scorpion is kind of worthless in this part of the fight.
Right.
I've been starting to swap to a
Blocking,
DPS
blocking.
Spear for the
Pop
Fort
your
phase,
consume,
like
pop your
after
consume.
the initial push. So I'll still keep Scorpion to like pull people off walls when we're doing the initial breach, and then I'll swap. I'm starting to swap to a DPS Spear afterwards because you could just do more with Sweep Cyclone and Perforate,
Still got
especially on
good
point.
pressure here,
Cyclone's
still got
really
good
really
pressure.
strong.
It's a 5-second on respawn. Just be ready for
Since
when they
everybody's
come
taking
up.
4 abilities
Yeah,
right
we
now
are,
to
we
get
are,
that
we are.
right side
Their
passive,
respawns are coming now.
probably a pretty good idea anyways.
Yeah.
You could just drop
Calling a
Javelin.
spread. They're calling a spread.
Yep.
Got vines on right side.
Stickers top point. Flapping's out. Still at the bottom.
He's going all in.
I'm hitting some
No, no,
people
he's not,
just
he's
off a point. Like Kaio can't.
So,
I'm in it right now. I'm on your side.
I'm still top right.
And we lose the point.
All right, we're gonna spread. Look at these bows in dirt. Look at these bows in dirt. Spray
Yeah,
machine
spray.
in dirt.
So I recognize points not winning. We're gonna call a reset soon. People are wiping, so let's just start trying to get picks on
Yeah, we
people
need to
outside
get
of point that are
points.
kind of free
Everyone
casting,
starts
putting lots of
some
damage.
pressure here. Gonna get back up above. Birdie right in front of us.
I'm
Alright,
just gonna get
just get up.
Dorsey in safe, and then
yeah,
we're.
I'm at the stairs here.
Sen-
Healing
sensitive
down.
on stairs.
I'm hitting the
sensitive
bows on
stairs.
top.
Stairs.
There's healers and bows up above.
Yeah.
Okay. They just had a respawn wave.
E-boy healer up here on top of gate.
Stickers here.
He jumped,
on
he
top of my
jumped.
door. There's a
I'm
lot
probably a
here.
clown on the other side. He jumped.
Flapping.
Going east stairs. Call out where
Yeah, one second.
We're still. I'm above the gate. Above right gate.
Trying to get back in here.
I'm on
I got
Dixie on
spray
healer.
machine, half HP above B gate.
I see him.
Flapping from B gate.
By the way, darn it. If y'all don't have bows
E-boy healer
running
up here on top
hatchet, it's really really strong.
of the gate. We're still. I'm above the
We've
gate.
heard some people asking about it. Yeah.
Hatchet is like trying to kill a bow that's running hatchet is almost impossible.
I'm gonna get.
It's really
I'm
stupid.
playing the tower for a second. I got you in your lockdown.
Left stickers on.
I'm coming over to you guys.
I got you in your lockdown up here in the
I
tower.
hate how little damage this stupid spear does.
I'm on full peel.
I'm on
too
spray.
right
I'm
now,
on
Rory.
spray.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm healing Devo. Flapping.
I got you in your lockdown still. Points over half. Points over half. I'm hitting some of the healers off of B gate.
Trying to come back in right now.
So here, my thought process was, all right, points getting to like half tick. Our fight doesn't really matter as much. I'm gonna try and like flip some value for point. Unfortunately, I'm not like doing anything to these guys.
Well, knocked a couple people off.
I'm clapping from below the front.
I'm keeping the healers from free casting
Try
above
and
the gate.
try and upsee.
No, you're good. Melcy?
Like a
Or
pre
you at
above
least
B
keeping 'em
gate. We got a
from
bunch of healers
pre-casting.
above our gate.
Yeah, a little bit.
Give me a second.
I'm more like a mosquito right now. Not really doing a whole lot.
Yeah,
It's just kind of how it is with disruptors, and again
It's like
running
full
the
reset.
scorpion spear.
It's like
Hey,
a
the whole army's reset. The whole army's reset. Hey, we still need.
All right, let's go to the next
Full
push.
spray?
So we reset. I go to buy some
Right.
pun
Shot to
spots.
go in.
If you guys can get the bow
Shockwave
aggro,
her down.
stay
Shockwave
alive.
down.
Yeah. I'm going in. We're getting
I
in.
can
We're
get up,
getting in
I can
up
get up.
here. We're getting in up here above our gate.
Notice whenever we come in, I'm telegraphing like, hey, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing. This is like our position. I'm trying to keep my group together because it's super hard for kill squads to stay together in fort sometimes because it can be really easy to get separated, and especially for your healer, like keeping your group together and letting your healer know where you're playing can go a long way to keeping your group alive,
I'm gonna go
rather
left.
than just running in and being like totally silent.
Healer on shops.
Oops.
I'm on spray machine above the gate right now.
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on spray.
Toppy is like 10 enemies right now.
Yeah.
You and yours like half on. I'm coming to hit the bows.
Yeah, I'm on spray.
I got you. Oh,
Oops.
of course I went the wrong
Can't
way.
do that.
I'm dropping.
I got you. Yeah. You're chilling. I'm cleansed. Just
I'm gonna go to
careful.
the corner over here.
So see, they dropped, which is totally fine. I know my healer just fell. Like that's like I said earlier, like that's totally okay. Just drop off the wall if you need to peel for yourself.
I'm keeping this guy from rebuilding.
I'm on zone bones. Top of our
And
gate.
right now, I'm just trying to keep the bows from
Zone
like
bones, I see him,
casting
yeah.
for free.
Just keep in mind, he's the hatchet guy.
Junior.
Yeah.
Junior, roll the resources.
Yeah, I see him.
Stick on him. Stick on him. They have nothing
Oh
left.
my
They have nothing left.
Stagger. He's stoned for him. He jumped.
Yeah, stay on him.
We can keep him from getting up. Icy, keep him from getting up. I'm gonna try and help Zeb out.
I'm gonna try and get in from B here. I can't really focus.
Stun these guys.
Yeah.
Massive peel.
I had to drop.
Yeah, oh my god.
But I like shield bash over whirling blade, by the way.
I'm gonna hit some of these guys up here.
I know a lot of
Tom Bones above the
disruptors
gate.
still like to run
Tom
whirling
Bones
blade, and I
after
think
the
whirling blade's okay. It's got its moments, but I think shield bash is just better. I prefer utility over
Yeah, I'm just playing serious for a
like
second.
utility like that that keeps my team alive.
Still above the gate.
Agreed.
Also easier to repost it.
Yeah.
Dude,
True.
every gate is up right now.
Dude,
I'm gonna take this shop down.
We lost the
We're
gate.
stuck in
It's
their
like
base
yeah, that's what I
anyway.
was talking about earlier. I just kill the gate and then I get murdered up top.
Nice.
Yeah, let's get back in the fort.
Where's our bruisers?
I don't know.
Me down in dirt.
I'm going in.
Okay, here we go.
Going in.
Okay, trying to get in here.
Front shop's really
right
thick.
here with you,
Really thick.
Dorsey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go E then.
Look, oh Gummy down in dirt. He's a good
Actually, no,
target.
I'm coming.
Really easy to kill.
There's so many here. Holy fuck.
I'm gonna try to get Dorsey up. I got you, Dorsey.
Yeah, thank you. I'm flapping from the stage. I'm gonna try and get up right now.
Hitting Free above the gate. God, they have so many.
I also don't
Yeah, they
normally
got a lot
take
of
coup de
healers free
grace,
casting
but
above the gate.
because of the build I was running, I just had the extra point. It still does good damage. I
I'm
don't
hitting
typically
some of these
prefer it
healers above the gate.
personally.
They're just doing
Look
whatever they
Gripsy. Look
want.
Gripsy on top of the
Yeah,
top
I'm
C.
on it.
Trying to keep you and you're a little locked up.
Shooting myself here.
Play your life.
Falling down with you, Repo. Flapping.
I got you and you're locked down.
Yeah,
Hands on
see that,
bones.
see that.
I'm in right now. I'm trying to come back in.
You and you're dropped.
Yeah, I'm still on him. Stay alive.
Flapping. Shielding depot.
Okay, let me get to the next part. So there's a point where here it is. All right, this
People
is a
down
good spot.
below. I'm gonna keep these boats.
So Zeb makes a call, which I think was really good and kind of falls in line with what I was saying earlier about like. Notice that what we're doing up here is pretty much totally worthless. We're not really accomplishing anything to help the army other than kind of sort of keeping the bows from free casting on the rest of the army, which is okay, I guess. I don't think it's really super great value, personally. So Zeb makes a call for our fire staff to just go like farther back into the fort and start pumping quads and people in dirt, which I think was a really, really good call. We don't really need him to hold this space, and he's not really doing anything up here than coming up, getting pressure, jumping off, coming up, getting pressure, jumping off, coming up, dying, respawning. That doesn't really do anything. Like, why even have a fire staff at that point? So we call for him. Like Zeb makes a call, like, hey, why don't you go to the back and just pressure quads and point.
Flapping. You.
So he makes that
Got
change,
locked down right
Yeah,
now.
I see it. I see it.
and we start getting more value
Yeah,
for
you're
it.
good, you're good. Keep
Point starts
everything.
ticking up. We decide to jump off in a minute.
I got spray machine locked down in the tower up here. You can't do anything.
It's 75.
I'm on
it's
it.
Alright,
75.
go down. Look for main value. Look for main.
IC makes a really good call that points at 75%. So that's again something really good for people to be paying attention at the group, make those comms, listen to your group comms. It's why I always stress on everybody to be talking, because sometimes you could be like me and I'm in the zone focusing this bow, and I'm not even seeing, hey, 0.75%. IC calls it out, which is fantastic, like macro awareness. So I could just jump down and start pressuring people down
No,
here.
you get down, get
I'm
down,
top
get down.
right, I'm top right.
Yeah.
Tiger's on the right side of point, right next to you, I see.
All the disruptors are on right side.
So I walk
Dropping
in here
vines
holding
top
right
right
click,
now.
Clapping.
finds all these people, run back to
Oceanic
pop some
Darling and
consumes
right
real
there.
quick.
Healing
Still
IC.
trying to kind of
Taking
call
a
some
sec.
names, even though it's not like super effective all the time.
I got like
Playing
3
life
guys
a little
on me that
bit.
have play life after this.
Playing life as well.
Point starts to D-tick,
Trying
which
not
is
to
totally
IC.
fine. I peel for Icy so he can get a heal.
Trying to come back.
Weaken all these people for the rest of the group.
Sorry, Nader.
Alright, just trying to find as much value as you can. I focus Lulu here for literally no
Lulu's
reason.
outside of Seagate right now.
This is dumb. I shouldn't have been doing this.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. XQC Rocket top right. Punchy top right on stairs.
Come on, Fonchi, crit fire, crit fire. He's dead, he's dead, he's dead.
Clapping.
Dude, step.
Okay.
There's a huge ton of waves.
Yeah. I'm hitting this
Punchy
top right,
here,
hitting this
punchy
top right.
Tragic. Just don't let it charge.
Hit top right, playing edge of point. Top your consumes. Everybody needs to get in, right now. Big whites, That's it.
Top
And then we just win.
Top right. Nice.
That was it. So not perfect gameplay by any means, but like big things to take away is like paying attention to what's going on with point, paying attention to what's going on with your healer, knowing when to play life and when you can play aggressive, making sure that you're paying attention to your own positioning, you're not overextending unnecessarily. Disruptors really taking advantage of holding right click and blocking for yourself or your teammates, providing defensive formation. If you're like, I can't get a kill right now, but I can provide a lot of value to these other people who need some help by just, holding right click for them and shield rushing and shield bashing and doing all these other things to peel for people, really big value. Make sure that you're like, again, looking in when appropriate. Tell your light DPS if they're not doing it already. So kind of the metric I use for like when to look in and start getting value in other places outside of your fight is whenever you get like 1 or 2 picks. Pick the healer, that's a great opportunity to start looking in. And then you can like start like thinking about sending somebody. Or if you pick a healer and you think you can get another pick really quick, get another pick. But you don't have to wipe the whole team to get value. So what I'll do in the wide fight, since I'm not like a DPS spear player, typically in the wide fight I'm running Scorpion, right? So what I'll do is I'll just stand next to the enemy bows and just hold right click in front of them and interrupt the crap out of them so they can't go anywhere and zone them. And I'll tell the rest of my group to go to point. And then my healer will kind of stand in between. So if I need heals, he's kind of sort of like within range to like run over real quick and toss me a heal. But then my bows and my other disruptor start looking in. They look in our road, they look at top of point, they look at quads, whatever they can find value in. If there's another kill squad fight going on near us, and they can look at that kill squad fight, and they just start trying to provide value to those fights. And then I will just stand there and hold space, so that way they don't get like free spaces, the wide group or whatever group they're in, because you don't want them to get an oppo. And then I will call my team back whenever respawns happen. So I'll be like, all right, hey, they're back. We need to reset. And everybody comes back out to the fight. We fight again. We go for the win. We get 1 or 2 picks, and then we just do the same thing over and over again, and continue to provide value. You do that regularly, and you especially have your bows and fire staffs look in. They can provide a ridiculous amount of value to other fights, whether it's other kill squad or quad fights, and that's how you convert the kill squad fights to main ball, main raid, whatever you want to call it, value. And that's how you actually get value out of playing in the kill squads right now, is maintaining that space and then converting those little wins into overall main army wins.
That's
And
huge,
having
yeah.
the like macro awareness to notice like when that's happening and be like, all right, we want to fight. Like, let's not overcommit chasing these 2 guys off into the middle of nowhere. So I had that happen to me where the kill squad I was in got hard diffed, And so the other disruptor and I were the only ones left alive. And for whatever reason, their wide kill squad committed 4 people to chase us almost completely behind the fort.
Jesus.
And it was really silly of them. They should not have done that. They should have
Sounds
just
like ego.
ignored us. Yeah. They should have just ignored us and gone back and helped win the point.
So
And so, well, yeah, go ahead.
quick question, yeah. So if you're if you're one of the inner lane kill squads, you're not getting kills, but you are taking space. Do you have a point or a rule where you should start looking inward? If only you're only taking space, so you can't get a pick. So let's just say you push the inner kill squad up to like their ramparts, almost in their road. Do you have a rule for that? How long you should stay in there? When they're going to take space back?
So part of that depends on what comp you guys run for your inner lane kill squad. Do y'all run a disruptor, a VG, and 2 DPS? Do y'all run 2 disruptors and 2 DPS?
We run on weak side 3 disruptors and fire staff, and then on inner lane group 8, 2 disruptors, VG, and fire staff.
Okay. So yeah, okay, that's normal. 2 disruptors, a VG, and a fire staff. Okay. So what you can do is similar to what I was saying before, is you have a disruptor kind of maintain the space and keep them from wrapping, and then you just have your VG, fire staff, and other disruptor look into top right or whatever side of whatever side you're on. If you're on attack, then into top right or top left. Actually, yeah, just top left. But basically, if you're pushed up that far, where you're pushed up closer to their top left, and you've won the fight by taking the space, but nobody's really getting any kills, then yeah, you'll just you can tell them look in. Or if the mid lane fight is really close, then you can also have them look at the mid lane fight if they're right next to you. But instead of what it used to be is you won the inner lane, you pushed up into top left, and then you looked at their healers and wherever the healer pocket was, and you just ran into the healers. Well, now it's instead of going all the way over there, you just look at the point right next to you and murder whoever's next to you. Really, really good targets. VGs that you've noticed already used a tomb. Great targets to kill. Great axes, bruisers that have just charged off of point. Excellent kill targets. Those are kind of things that you're looking for people who've used their only defensive cooldowns that they really have, because you can really dog down those players. Usually when a bruiser's charging off a point, he's already burned all of his cooldowns and doesn't really have anything left, so that's a really, really good target to go for. And then again, you can just kind of nuke those quads, or if you see a crash happening next to you, you can provide value to that crash as well. So your VG can go up and do an extra set of VG-IG combo, scream, dropping shower off the point to cut off their escape. So if a bruiser goes to charge off point, your VG drops a shower just off point in their path, then obviously they can't shower or charge all the way out of it. Screaming those guys, all that stuff. That's all really, really good value things to do.
That makes sense. I know you got polls soon, so if anybody has any last minute questions, shoot them out right now.
No, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming out and talking to us.
Yeah, of course.
Really appreciate this.
Yeah, thanks again.
I recorded it. I hope you don't mind. I put it on YouTube for the people who couldn't be here.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Thanks, Dusty.
Yep. No problem. Always happy to help.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Good
Good
luck in your war,
man.
Yeah. Yep, I'm about to play mid lane kill squad. I'll be streaming it, so if anybody feels like catching it, I have no idea how the war's gonna go, but I will be doing some mid lane disrupting for the first time in a while. So, well, since that fight that you just saw. So
Nice.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll be in there.
All right. Yeah, have a good one.